I'm Andra Annette, and this is CJ.C Boyd, and we are Real Lives of the Entrepreneurs. So we just came out of our other show, and we said, let's go do this one. So in my professional life, I am a nurse, a holistic practitioner, a leaky gut, thyroid, and weight loss expert, and I just love putting people in a body they love. And CJ, tell our audience a little something about yourself, sweetie.
Well, my mission in life is to have every single woman say fuck yes to everything. The money, the outfits, the clothes, the travel, the lifestyle, the life that they want, the dreams that they want, and to just be able to give themselves permission to build the courage to say yes to everything that they want in life.
So let's tell them how to do it today, okay? So guys, we have so many things going on all the time, right? So in branches of prosperity, we talk about things we actually do in business and stuff like that. So as the business world evolves, there's certainly more opportunities to get involved with goods and services. AI has become really big, and I just won high achieving AI entrepreneur. And I was like, wow, I don't know where that came from. Didn't know I was in this competition. But it was a nice.
Awesome.
I put it on LinkedIn. I wasn't gonna put it on Facebook, but I might still. But there's so many things that are happening in the online space, and as entrepreneurs, sometimes it makes you step back and pause and say, you know, what am I doing? Where am I going with this? What am I still here? Do I want to be here? Because there's so many different things. Every time you turn around, new people are showing up online. So there's like this whole craze for everybody to start their own business, but a lot of people are under the sad impression that it's not work. And if you're not here to work, you know, um, a while ago I saw someone write, they gave up their 9 to 5 job to work 70 hours a day or something like that as an entrepreneur, right? And I was laughing my ass off because there's a lot of truth to that. Um, I work just as hard in my business now as I did when I first started. And a lot of
Yeah.
people say it gets easier. And I just come up with new goals and new dreams, and I know you do. And um, I'm not even out there trying to create profits. I'm out there creating the vision I promised myself, and everything comes to you in other ways, right? I get paid for certain things I do online regardless, just for showing up. And it's business as usual for me. That's business as usual for me, right? My husband doesn't get it. My husband's like, I don't know how you're still doing this, right? And then I'll get a check or something and he'll be like, oh, okay, you still having
Oh,
fun at this. Yeah. Yeah. But it is work. It is finding what you want to do, very intentional, Um, I always like to write, so I've been spending a lot of time writing, as an author, I've been putting more of my goal into that because I want to put things out in the world that for what I actually do help people with. I write a lot of kids books, but that's because of the million word gap, right?
right.
So that's a different part of me. I might even start thinking about being the new Nora Roberts. Who knows, right? I could think of some hot and heavy scenes too. I love her, boy. She was so detailed. But I'm creating what's right for me. And CJ and I were just talking about that on the other show that it does have to align with who you are, whatever you're building out here. If you are still in a 9 to 5 job, there are plenty of things and opportunities online with AI, going business with AI, with these faceless videos and all that stuff. Learning, getting certified in AI and teaching other companies how to use them to automate their business. And then there are goods and services, which CJ and I also do. So there are so many things to choose, but you got to choose something and you got to put the work in to get to where you want to go. What do you think about that, CJ?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, sell you that bill of goods that, you'll be attracting clients and customers and teammates and all the things, and you'll be sipping margaritas on the beach inside of 5 days. And it's like, no, anything that you want takes work, but you have to figure out what it is you want first. I feel that there's so many people that jump into the online space and they have all these, shiny objects to choose from. They're like, oh, this guy can tell me how to make 30K in 10 hours. And it's like people glom onto that and they want something so desperate that they don't keep in mind the fact that you have to work at it. You have to lay the solid foundation. You have to hone the skills. You have to be educated. You have to take the trainings, and then you have to actually implement those things. And like to call it infobesity. That's my new phrase that I've coined, because there's so much information out there and people think, oh, well, if I just attend a training or a workshop or a master class, and then I'm going to be making all this money. No, you actually have to implement what you've learned and tweak it to fit what your goal is and what you want to accomplish. And I think it's just really important to like take a step back and really make good decisions. Be intentional about what it is that you want to create, and then do it in baby steps. People are always looking for the big, huge goal and they want the instant gratification, when in reality, you set your goal a little bit shorter and then do the daily consistent actions that are going to get you to that goal. And then once you achieve that goal, stop and go, holy shit, I did that, and celebrate that, because everybody's like, okay, accomplish that, next. Like the other show we were talking, you said, once I get $2 million, and you're like, okay, now I'm going to go for two. But you're going to stop and go, yeah, wow, look what I did. I created that $1 million. And you're going to really let yourself sit with it and embody it and embrace it, instead of just going, next, I'm on to the next thing. And I think that's a piece that a lot of people miss. They're always, striving for this rank or this dollar amount. How about we stop and, celebrate what you did today? The steps that you took, the instant, the consistent action that you're taking, because that takes a lot of courage. That takes a lot of dedication. That takes a lot of integrity to go, I said that I wanted this goal. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get myself there. And I'm going to be in integrity with it. And I'm going to do the actual thing to get me there.
Somebody asked me the other day, true story, reached out to me, hey, wondering how you're doing it. When are you retiring? I said, excuse me? She's older than me.
Oh, man.
She's got like 10, 15 years on me. She goes, well,
oh my God.
She said, that's got to have wear and tear on your body. I was like, I'm in the best health of my life. What are you talking
Right.
about?
Do you
What are
not
you
know
talking
me?
about? She said, well, don't you have a problem with your hands? I said, you mean a child bending it back was a little bit of a problem, but it's
Right.
okay now. But I was like, why do people even ask me that? I feel like even in retirement, I would be doing something, right? My husband's away, so I have someone come and walk the dog. And he retired 10 years ago. And what does he do? Because he couldn't deal with, sitting around. He walks other people's dogs.
That's awesome.
So, the guy's 80 years old and he came to walk my dog today. Take
That's
my
awesome.
dog out for like a half an hour. And I was like, isn't that cool? Right.
It
So
is
I
cool.
will be that person doing something, because I just feel that we only have this one life to live. So in retirement, I'll be traveling more. I already booked several vacations this year, because it's something I just want to start doing more of. And because I have worked as long as I have the availability, the time, I have put in so much time. I really can travel whenever I want. So I have a lot of gratitude for that. But that comes from that work that we were talking about, putting in those actions where, nobody's going to miss me if I take off for a week, because I've set up things that are going to keep working even when I'm not there. Early this morning, over my coffee, I sent out a newsletter. I said, let's send out a newsletter because I'll probably forget if I wait till later, right? So I just did it. It took me only like 10 minutes to write, and I did it, right? So there's so many things that we can do and be intentional about to grow a business, right? But you do have to understand why you're doing it to keep yourself motivated, right? Because if I didn't have a really strong why, if CG didn't have a really strong why, we probably would have given up a long time ago. Some of the people that we encountered when we first came online were not the nicest people with the best intentions, and we had some headaches, we some hardships when we first came online. But we made it through that, and much more, and we still keep going, right?
Yeah. And I think that's another thing that you have to be really intentional about who you surround yourself with, for the fact that everybody tells a good story, and there's
Mm.
people out there that are telling you one thing and doing another thing, and there's a lot of people who are just giving lip service to what they can offer or what they will do for you. And I've run into a lot of those people who call themselves coaches, and they're like, well, I can teach you how to do this, when in reality they've not done that thing for themselves. So how in the heck can they teach me how to do it if they've not done it for themselves? And then, I think for me, it's really important for anybody who comes into contact with me. My favorite saying of my mom when I was a kid is, the proof is in the pudding. You know what? You need to show me how you got to that place if you're going to tell me that you can help me get to that place. And so I just think having the staying power, and like you said, your why being big enough. People just think that it's about the money. It's not just about the money. The money will come, and you and I are full proof of that. It's about the people's lives that we will change. It's about the people who we will help transform, who we will help build their courage, their confidence, their permission. And the money, is a bonus deal. This reminds me of that, like, that MasterCard commercial. The hair costs $75. The shoes cost $50. The transportation costs $75. The experience of a lifetime, priceless. And so that's
Yeah.
what I want people that's what I want people to feel when they come and they work with us. Working with us was priceless. There's no dollar amount you could put on that, because of the experience we gave them, the transformation that we've helped them experience, and the life-changing event.
Listen, I think we've come a long way since we started. We're both international best-selling authors, right? So we do individual services, consulting. We have God knows what kind, how many products and services. If you're looking for leads, we can help you. If you want to learn more about AI, we can teach you. If you want to travel, we could do that for you. We could be that booking buddy for you. If you want to feel better in your body, we got things for that too, right? So we are out here doing a lot of things to support our business, because a lot CJ was saying before that a lot of people will say they did this thing and they want to help you, but I don't think anybody shares in the beginning when you first come out here that you're going to have to do more than one thing to
Yeah.
support that business, right? I wasn't giving up a six-figure job to on a prayer think that I was going to do that online in 3 months. It wasn't happening, right? So, um, you do have to have something else, either a part-time job, a full-time job, or some kinds of products and services that you do in addition to consulting. Because a lot of people don't tell you too that a large percentage of consultants make about $17,000 a year. That's not livable money, and those are facts. That's based on facts and statistics. That's not the millionaires that you say, oh, I hate millionaires, and they're sitting with Russell Bronson, right? Um, so you do have to, get serious, get intentional, and find that why, and then pick something. So, it is advisable that you pick something somebody wants, or you pick something that is so bizarre that not everybody's helping with, and you will be the number one in that field, right? I see people. There's a guy who trains dogs, right? There's another person that teaches you how to take pictures on your smartphone. There's so many people out here, and they're crushing it, right? Because there's not a lot of people teaching it, and they're crushing it, right? Um, but there's a lot of people in the health space, and because the health space is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, because that's where they think the money is. people are having a hard time connecting with that audience, right? Um, or seeming even realistic, especially with AI now. I think there's more hesitancy to believe what anybody says
Yeah,
because, they have AI writing all their material,
exactly.
Yeah. So it's a sad state of affairs out here, but we're in it to the end, right? So I don't know if you guys how long you've been following CJ and I, but we've been on this for a few years now, and we're having a lot of fun. So people don't talk about that either. So it is a lot of work, but it's fun. You have fun times. You meet great people. You push your limits. A lot of people don't understand their limits until they push past them and achieve more and do better. And then, you think you can't do this until you do. And then you say, okay, what else can I do? And you push those limits, right? I've grown so much as a person. My skill levels online have gotten so much better, so I'm okay with where I'm at. And CJ and I are happy to show you any of the things that we know. If you're looking for that help, if you're just starting out, you could absolutely comment below and we'll be happy to help. If you want to be your own travel business, we got you, right? Right? You need leads, not a problem. Get paid, even if they say no, right? We can show you that too. There's so many things out here that you can do, and they all seem unrealistic, but a lot of these things really work if you dedicate your time and you're consistent in the actions you put in. What do you think, CJ?
I think that's true. And I think, a lot of times people are like, oh, I can't sell that because, there's thousands of other people who are distributors. The one thing you got to realize is that most people don't have your life experience, your wisdom, your grit, your wanting it bad enough. There's a lot of people that are saying, "Oh, I'm a travel agent," but they have never booked a trip in their life. Or people saying, I'm a gut expert," but they can't, do things that health experts actually do. And I think the beauty of it is that we got to realize that you can become that expert if you choose to be intentional about what you learn, the time that you put in to learn and educate yourself, and surround yourself with people who are actually legitimately doing the damn thing, because there's so much out there. It's hard to decipher between the smoke and mirrors and the white noise. Be around people who are integrous and have walked the walk. I mean, if you've been following Andra and I, when we first started out, we were like, yeah, okay. And now it's like we built that confidence because every single day we choose to get better at what we're doing because we want to be able to be that expert to help you be able to do the thing too.
Yeah, it's so bizarre, I never would have dreamed that I'd be sitting here 4 years later where I'm at, and feeling really good about it too, I might add, I just bought myself a new house. I've been wanting to do that for a long time, you
I'm so
know.
excited.
So, and I already got my eyes on another one.
Woo!
So yeah, already got my eyes on another one. And that one will be like in the Jersey area and stuff because I've kind of had it with New York. So, um, because having kids and grandkids here, we are going to have to go back and forth. So I need a nice place in both places, right? So
Awesome.
yeah, so I got my
Well
office set up
deserved.
already, girl. Everything. I'm yawning. If you knew what time I was up this morning, my husband is on his way to Florida as we speak. Actually, he's probably landed on the golf course already. But I got up so early to make him and his buddies breakfast and then worked, and then I get food delivery, came home and did that, walked the dog and did all that other stuff. I'm like, I'm spent, right? And I was tipping away all day today, getting my stuff together, for a new release I'm doing. So it's just so much. So you do have to be really good at time management to run
Yeah.
a business. You really do. To keep your time and all that stuff, and still have time for family and friends and fun. You know, um, Otherwise you're a very nasty person out here if you're not happy, right? So I think we're gonna end it there today. CJ, did you have any last words you wanted to share with the audience?
I just want to say, yes, it takes work and it requires effort and time and sometimes a little bit of money. But when you come on to the space where you're having these types of conversations and you're having fun and you can laugh about what you've learned and the pitfalls that you've been through, it makes it all so worthwhile. And I'm just super excited that you have a house that's so well deserved and so well earned. And I'm so excited for you.
I'm really excited about it. This is like my forever home. I fell in love instantly. But CJ made a very good appointment, very good points, not an appointment. Just my mind's on something else. Woo! So, but you made a very good point because you are investing a lot of time and you are investing money and you are investing in yourself. And that's the big piece here. You know, whatever you're building is for you. So you're going to reap the rewards of the time that you're putting into it. Hopefully, that time amounts to something very worthwhile. Otherwise, you know,
Yeah.
quit. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't ever quit. Keep going. You are so worth it. All right, we're going to end it here today. I want to thank you so much for joining us on Real Lives of the Entrepreneurs and have a good night. Bye, Bubba.